no way. It's way too much damage. Stop him with the block! He found charge jump!
and he found
wow.
Wow.
Oh,
He gets out!
Somewhere there's a covert muffin just applauding this seed.
Holy crap.
Oh man, this is gonna come down to execution in the final escape, isn't it?
Sure is.
Every seed
Our
does.
favorite phrase.
Go, and I will not be commentating.
Yes, that's right. We do, in fact, have a extraordinary match between Shayfe and Guard here, and we actually have myself, Mad Insane, and Zemsis joining me on commentary today. So,
Hey, Maddie. I thought you replaced me for a second there.
it's still the two of us. It's nobody else here. It's nice and peaceful. And do you want to talk a bit about our runners today, Zed?
Sure. I had the time to talk with Gard before the match today and how he's been feeling about his chances and this matchup in particular. And Gard actually is a bit out of practice time these recent days. Didn't get the chance to practice quite as much as he wanted to and got a bit frustrated with his execution and routing due to that. Things have been looking better, but he still is a bit worried about that. Let's hope things get better for him earlier. His goal for this tourney was to make it to the best of 3 stage, and that's just one win for him, either here or next week if he should he lose this match. So I definitely hope he can do that. Meanwhile, what about Shayfe, Maddie?
So we have and Shayfe is thinking that Guard has got a very solid Guard set up. On paper, Shayfe reckons there's maybe an advantage for Shayfe on the execution. I'm going to plan to play a little bit thorough in some places, but also concerned a little bit about Guard's very aggressive playstyle that he likes to go for. And maybe, if depending on the skill set that shows up, Shayfe's going to try and see if you can figure out how aggressive Guard will be playing based on what gets found, and then try and change how aggressive Shayfe's going to play based on that.
Yeah, and funnily enough that you mentioned, Gard does play seeds very aggressively, but does not like seeds where he is allowed to do so, because he is not a fan of those early C-jump or dash seeds, as we have seen so many, especially of the former during this tournament, but rather like a more normal opening that then goes over into grenade jumps, which is one thing where he thinks he does have a bit of an advantage over Shayfe. But it looks like we are giving our runners a heads up to go into the race shortly. And I have one question for you, Maddie. What kind of seed do you want to see, and where did Jamal hide Bash in this rage, which is starting right now?
Well, I think I'm gonna hope for a Bash grenade start. I haven't seen one of those in a while. It gives them a lot of power early, gives them lots of opportunity to play aggressive, but it also doesn't involve Bash or C-jump. So maybe that will be great pick. But
I mean, both of our runners here are KVM runners, right? So Bashblade isn't quite as horrifying as it is in some other matches, but it looks like we are ready to go. Guard already with the gigantic advantage enabling color shift here, as Shayfe is still busy spamming good luck on your end. So let's see how much that will go to his verse. So far, it's just a single keystone, so probably more of the classic 2 keystone into delayed start. Even though we could, of course, still see a skill right here, as we're getting our first energy right here, not randomized, for the reason that playing the game without the ability to save is not very fun. And with this, we are heading over to Sign.
Yeah, here's our second pickup. It is, in fact, another keystone. They do now have the option to go into the main Glades area, which is it's a nice thing. You're not forced deeply into BRB early, so we'll see what the next two are. They could end up having that option if they do so choose. However, I expect most of them will be quite happy to continue through the rather dense and easy to access early areas of Glades.
And we see God, unlike me, actually getting the nice coyote jump here. Saves absolutely 0 time, but does look pretty swag. So good job on him, God. Now we are off to another keystone. Alright, see, throwing keystones at our runners. Getting close to being able to open spirit caverns soon here as our runners collect their 4th backup. It's finally not a keystone, it's an ability save. Got a bit late on the save, but should still be fine with the fish cycle. Just 1 ability cell underwater, no information gained here, and with this we are off into our second part of Glades.
Yeah, we see an ever so slight lead for Shayfe just from the guard barely missing the ghost door. But of course, the lead this small is not going to matter this early. Shayfe deciding to open the Spirit Caverns door preemptively. I like that choice. Both of them doing so, Guard doing so as well. Making sure that door is open. They're going to definitely go back there later is the plan. Save some time of having to watch the animation if you know you're going to go there.
Yes, indeed, and depending on which kind of opening we get, the kind of opening where you kind of do Glades, Spirit Caverns, Blackroot, and the Charge Flame Tree, it's pretty common, right? And in that case, you are gonna have to go through that door at some point anyway. And on top of that, Spirit Cavern is super dense, 5 checks all within like 2 screens. So always nice to have that. But so far, it is just keystones, and more keystones for both of our runners. And I think we are about due for a skill, which will be right here on the tree, unless the randomizer decides to be funny, sending our runners to Swamp to get 2 more keystones, or a skill and a keystone there. Let us see. Nope, it is a charge jump start, because what else is it gonna be? Welcome to the Ori 2021 tournament.
It's the horror of both of the runners, not concerned about their G jumps or leading into G jump for Shayfe, or just the C jump for Guard is concerned. Oh, but there's the Goomon seal. Could be foreshadowing what's to come in this race, but hopefully not for the runner's sake. So we see a bit of a difference here. Shayfe has had enough of Glades and is heading down to BRB, whereas Guard is going to backtrack back up and clear out the missing things around here. And of course, it's more keystones.
Yeah, because what else could it be? There is keystones, but also a second energy cell, which is really comfy for our runners. Keystones are nice and all, but some extra resources that you can use for safety are always nice to see. 1 energy can really cause some spaghetti with all of that. And with that, we also have quite a few keystones to get here into Spirit Caverns, which is now open. The backtrack that Guard did was indeed faster than that airing and walking back, so very nicely here. And we already at 3 energy, and you know what I would really like to see at this point? What about some nice progression of 4 energy into 4 on TP? Nope, it is dash
The
here.
energy is we've got dash for Guard and Spirit Caverns. It's gonna be costly for Shayfe if he doesn't actually go back to Spirit Caverns anytime soon with that C jump. Hopefully he will. Hopefully opening that door early is going to remind him that he wants to go back there. It's not a horrible location, so it's fairly likely he'll go back and check there. So it might not be a race decider, but it could end up being a big advantage for Guard having that skill. That's going to save so much time constantly, and just having it for longer is going to matter a lot.
Yes, indeed. For Shayfe's sake, let's hope there's nothing in Blackroot, because that way he is forced to grab Dash. Dash does not save that much time here in Blackroot Barrows. Really just a little bit of time when you go into the Indiana Jones area, or into the this area right here, where you can do a different form of cutscene skip that saves time compared to this one. But so far it's been nothing for Shayfe. It's been 4 energy for Guard, so Glazer is a nice pickup that our runners could check whenever they want to, which is probably once nothing else is available anymore. And with this, guard is now heading after Shayfe, who found Climb, which is a pretty nice thing. With this, we can get into lower. Blackroot can get all the way to Grenade Tree, but logic-wise, that requires the dash that guard already has.
Yeah, I'm kind of expecting the Shayfe is seeing this and seeing the 2 out of 3 and is like, oh no, this is heading straight towards a G-jump seed. The concerns, the fears are coming out, but hopefully this isn't gonna be able to shake Shayfe's nerves here.
Yes, and we're also technically just some resources and the left side teleporter away from a go mode. That's how powerful this skill set is that our runners got right here. This is quite some good stuff. The climb charge jump, of course, allowing you to break both floors and walls, and the dash just allowing you to be A, fast, but B, also break all kinds of blue stuff or fragile walls as in the final escape. And oh, look what Shayfe just found here. 3 out of 3 at 7 minutes into the seed. It is dash and G jumps. We got a seed.
It is in fact Shayfe's worst nightmare coming true, and but maybe we can have some good performance out of this. Already landed a nice G jump to start with. Has the ability cells to be able to skip this cutscene, which is always nice. He's gonna zombie Ori and then gonna go for this G jump again. So gets it nicely. See, maybe Shayfe's fears are unfounded. Is actually doing very well with it so far. And gets sniped by a mortar worm behind the save anyway. He's gonna have to go for this G jump again. Now, of course, the randomizer is watching and is not a fan, but Shayfe manages it anyway. It's getting bullied by this bird. Of course, Shayfe having the zombie Oriing there means that Shayfe has no health whatsoever for doing this. So he needs to do this without getting hit. Just needs to get the angle perfectly right. Do not collide straight into a bird. Well, we see guard just cleaning up this Blackroot area. Of course, having that dash is gonna save a bunch of time here. Gonna get there a lot faster. He's gonna skip out on the map stone while Shayfe manages to make it into the cutscene. Barely, the bird cannot follow it. And makes it through to the reload. Shayfe is safe.
Indeed, no energy for any safety saves there, sadly. So this was the kind of pain that you just have when you're on this low on energy and this low on abilities to spend for safe enemies. Oh my god, we just found a Sorrow teleporter on the grenade tree. This is go mode at 9 minutes. What is this scene? I mean, we can always get the Stormblocked Water Rain, I guess, but that's really all that can still happen in this seed. And there's one really dangerous thing here. Shayfe does have grenade and charge jump, which means he can go right through the Sea Flame Tree area. Technically, he does not need to go through Spirit Caverns, and we know Dash is right there. So let us hope for Shayfe that he comes back to these 5 pickups, because yeah, as mentioned before, he can get all. He did get that climb behind the Dash Crushers, so he should be realizing that that is where progression is soonish once he checks the Rise-Here-No area and finds out there's nothing there. Meanwhile, Guard, already having his 4 energy from earlier, can now head into the right side of the map and go into Death Gauntlet. Check some stuff out of the way, gets an extra air dash on the way, which is always nice to have since we actually have dash for once in the seat. Gets just under this drops time. This will be his Grotto TP, his Refill, and then back to the bridge and probably double jump tree or storm tree. He has really all the choices at this point. And it looks like he's deciding it's going up time first.
Yeah, so state of the race, we have Guard, who is missing the grenade that Shayfe found in the lower Blackroot area. It's a very important skill as that enables the grenade jumps that Shayfe is able to do, giving the massive speed wherever he wants, provided there's a wall. But Guard has the one that gives him lots of speed wherever he wants, even if there's not a wall, which is the dash that Shayfe is potentially heading over to Spirit Caverns to go and grab right now. And as for clues, so far we have knowledge that the Sunstone is in Misty, which is... It's an okay area for it to be in. It's a very linear area, however it's got a lot of spikes, and they don't have a lot of health. They also don't have much to stay in the air, as they don't have a double jump, and they don't have a bash, and they don't have a glide. So that could be a bit of a problem later on that they're going to have to start thinking about now as they need to start planning out their route.
Yes, and Shayfe kind of baiting us, heading straight to Spirit Caverns before making a dip to clean up blades here. He will definitely keep this, as this is his third energy, and energy is quite a bit of a useful resource, even if you don't have that. But now he is walking, and he's right at the entrance of Spirit Caverns. Please check it. Yes, Shayfe will be getting his dash, won't have a problem with that, so that is very nice for him. That means Shayfe is now in a guild lead here.
Yeah.
Once he picks it up.
Well, yeah, as soon as he picks it up, unless for some reason he doesn't get that keystone, which of course he's gonna get that keystone. Gotta play nice and Shayfe here. There you go. Got the dash. He's heading straight out there immediately. He's had enough. He's maybe having a bit of a panic and thinking that, oh no, guard could have had dash for quite a long time now. But of course, the grenade is gonna be a bit of an advantage here for Shayfe.
Yes, can skip the growth area entirely, can get the fast way through. He gets to skip putting in 4 keystones, and those keystones in seeds like this are extremely valuable resources. Quite often those keystones are kind of what decides when your go mode happens in seeds like this, so it's always nice to get to keep 4 more of those than you would normally have. But yeah, with this Shayfe at 8 keystones, that is always good to have. We'll be able to get, let me think, all his trees with that, unless the Sunstone is on Gumans here. That's actually enough.
We did see Guard take an extremely efficient death of just finished clearing out the Grotto Vault area and then took a death and straight back out. But fortunately, there's nothing very important there at all, so just some XP, just missing out on a little bit of XP, probably not going to matter, and saves a bit of time having to walk back.
Indeed, also takes a quick death to the mini-boss, but that won't be a problem since the mini-boss auto-saves, luckily enough. The mini-boss, obviously, combat in Obi-Wan, kind of a bit simple in this case. It is 2 charge jumps, because charge jump being the last skill that you are supposed to find in the game, it's 50 damage. That is quite a bit more than the single-digit damage that Sign does, and therefore mini-boss in 2 seconds, not a problem. Has the safety save after the mini-boss, so this death won't be a refight anyway, so hey, that's nice enough. With this, both of our runners in Grotto heading slowly but surely through the double jump tree while still collecting resources. And yeah, let's see where we go afterwards.
Yeah, the tree advantage that Shayfe has right now is actually probably going to be quite important, because knowing that the Sorrow Teleporter is available and on a tree that they cannot avoid is very helpful knowledge to have, even if Guard is definitely going to end up getting that at some point. Guard may decide, I'm going to check everything else and I'm going to be a lot more thorough on the way, because I don't know that I have any way of getting over to the left side. So that could end up being a problem that we could see for Guard, as Guard now gets the double jump tree and will be very close now. We're approaching as tree number 4, and this will tree number 5 for Shayfe. We'll be very close to that second clue, which will hopefully be the water vein, so we find out where they'll have to be searching for that. It could of course be the Guman seal as well.
Yeah, and we kinda already found that, so in case we are getting a Guman clue, our runners are just gonna be sitting there with exactly the same amount of information as before. These spikes do 3 damage, so Guard can't quite damage boost through that. Will now be heading upwards, probably taking the upper swamp entry, I would assume. Yes, seems to be heading right to the swamp entry. Nope, never mind, jinxed it. He's going into the iceless area instead, not setting up for blind movement. That means we're turning in the map stone, and now we can either watch the cutscene here or, yeah, we're watching the cutscene. A burp swooping down, looking for Ori. Simply Ori is on another screen, so no Ori here for you to find. Kuro, please fly away. Thank you. We are going fast. Getting a few more checks out here, but the longer guard hesitates going down to that Blackwood area, the longer obviously those grenade jumps will be eluding him.
Yeah, we still see both of our runners doing lots of searching, though Guard is maybe heading towards the horror fields, or perhaps just getting this health cell. It could be exciting if he does head over to the horror fields area, decides, nope, gonna just grab the health cell, check there's nothing important, not gonna get scammed by that pickup today, and then gonna continue through the Spider Lake area.
And I believe Guard is really looking for his next progression step here and finds double jump all the way in Spider Lake. That is a very comfy skill that will make Misty so much easier now with the ability to air stall. That is quite comfortable all around. Wouldn't be surprised if Shayfe won't find that since he has grenade jumps, and there is a thing to be said about just rushing for trees at this point since he has access to all of the map. But Guard still needs to dig for his left side access one way or another. But yeah, double jump, always a nice skill. This seat is quite comfy, honestly.
Yeah, it's certainly getting comfier and comfier, though both sides have fractions of comfy, and they're not quite. If they combined their skill set together, they'd be a lot closer to a nice, warm, comfortable time. However, they are still just missing like these vital parts to just make everything go nice and smooth together. We did see Shayfe picking up that tree 6, and of course it is in fact not a useful piece of information. It is in the Gumon seal clue, which they both already have, so they will have to go all the way to tree number 9 before they will be able to find where the information of the water vein is.
Yeah, and at this point, I almost want to say, what about the nice storm-blocked water vein? But let's actually have a test seat here for once. Shayfe teleporting over to the left side of the map as Guard finds the other blue breakage. Steve has now always to break through walls, but none of that is his left side access, so he will need to continue digging on the way, first to Storm Tree and then hopefully to Grenade Tree. But Shayfe using that Sorrow teleporter from earlier and his frankly absurd amount of energy, 8 energy to fuel those charge dashes already, can now repeatedly rocket jump off these spiders and now get here. A nice extended wall charge jump will get through here, and if you get all the way down on this, you won't take damage from the spikes on the right. Beautifully done. That is Shayfe's 7th tree right here on the charge jump tree, and can now either Alt-R or even honestly jump through the Rito caves if he really wants to know. Will take the reasonable route, goes for the Alt-R, and I would assume will now teleport backwards and then clean up the other 2 left side trees.
Yeah, but on Guard's side, we do see a huge problem that Guard is having right now, which is that Guard still has not found a health cell. Still is on 3 health. Does have at least health regen, so that's like almost another health cell, but only having 3 HP at this point in the game with the amount of things that you're having to damage boost on and the amount of areas that you're running out of that don't instantly kill you anytime you touch anything slightly aggressive is running out, and that's gonna make everything so much more difficult, even with that double jump to help you stall in the air a little bit. You only got 1 jump at the moment to stall with.
Indeed, and as you mentioned, that health regen is nice, but it does not protect against one shot, so not that helpful for this. Anyway, Shayfe still being quite thorough here on the way down to the Glide Tree, doesn't want to miss something. I would also not be surprised if he would be just a bit more comfortable if he can get those ability sets for Ultra Defense or maybe some extra health at this point. 6 HP. Sure, that is possible to swim through poison water in the final escape with 6 HP in some region, but that sure puts quite a bit of execution burden on the rest of the escape if you cannot take any damage whatsoever. But with this, Shayfe now broke his Kuro Rocks coming from the Sorrow Teleporter and will be on to 8 out of 10 trees as Guard goes down here. And Guard, please go check your and get your free grenade.
Yes, he gets it. Yes, there we go. He's going further down. Oh, that's so unfortunate. It's not as if this is a wrong decision or anything. This is just, unfortunately, with the knowledge that we have, we know that he can get what he wants just by going the route that is faster and has fewer things. But in what world would we ever think that the nice route is the right way in this randomizer?
Indeed, this randomizer has been a bit too nice to our runners here today. But God is rewarded! That's a water vein randomly just here in the lower black root barrels. That is extremely nice. Once he sees that Sorrow Teleporter next to the grenade tree, he might just decide it is straight up go time and could skip out on a lot of the shakes if he finally gets some of those health sets that have been dodging him all this time.
Yeah, that honestly is just such a huge turning point for the race. That's definitely put Guard back in it there with the. It's now going to be a case of how fast can Shayfe make it through Misty, get this Sunstone, get the tree, and find out that it's in Blackroot, and then from there, is that enough time for Guard to be able to start catching up on trees with Shayfe having to take an extra visit over to Blackroot?
Yes, but taking that extra visit to Blackroot will not take that much time in the grand scheme of things, but still, it is the thing you have to do, and it is also the thing where you start worrying that it's actually all the way down in Lost Grove. Luckily for Shayfe, that is kinda somewhere between the first 4 pickups he would probably check on his way in lower Blackroot, but still it is a free visit and that is never free. And Guard can now head right into the Ginso tree, and if he maybe finds a glide or something in here, which is totally possible, since that grenade throw was obviously in logic with grenade, then it would be quite a bit of possible that he will save some more time throughout Sorrow and Misty on his search for the Sunstone.
Yeah, we see Shayfe picking up wall jump, not exactly the sort of thing he wants to find, and does manage to get a level up this time. Did take a death last time on that frog, gets the revenge, and gets the refill. It's gonna save him a lot. And Guard is heading through the Ginso tree, has grabbed a mega health, more health than Guard can dream of at the moment. First time Guard is probably feeling comfortable about his health supplies this whole seed. And zooming on through, nicely making use of the portals to cancel the charge dashes, going through here, and then having to use having to use the charge flame to redirect this is so awkward. The randomness. So instead, is going to go for the sensible, casual, well, almost casual route through this that doesn't require any skills, instead of having to rely on Sign RNG to behave properly, which is always a bit of a pain.
Yes, and here Shayfe finds his clue, water vein indeed in Blackroot, and God, sadly dashing a bit too far, not fast enough on the seeded re-input, and that means the mega health that he just picked up with that is gone. I was wondering if he planned on keeping that all the way through, because that would have been enough health for him to finish the game, but now we are back to either grinding for ultra defense or finishing by finding all the health sets. One of the two will need to happen here for Guard, because he can just not finish with this. And he finds Stomp on the way, which is, I mean, that gives us Storm Cancel, that's kinda nice, but on the other hand, we have 8 energy on Shayfe's side already, so it's not even that necessary. We see there's more health in Misty, which Guard absolutely has to pick up since he needs the Sunstone, so that's nice for us, for him, but he doesn't know about that. Oh, he finds Clear Water, never mind, he can just go.
combined with the charge flame to be able to break the wall of the elemental room is going to make that a lot easier to make it through the final escape. It's possible. The chance is there. And the main problem here is going to be getting through Misty, especially as we have no idea currently where the Sunstone even is. It could be in the incredible location of the Gumon seal. It could be in that grenade lock pickup just before. It could be this really awkward pickup in the middle shaft here that is absolute pain to get to without bash. We'll have to see.
Yes, indeed, this will not be easy at all. And Guard, on the meantime, also, he cannot damage boost through here, so he will have to either G-jump. Alright, never mind, he gets that G-jump without a problem on the second attempt. Don't jump into the spikes, nice with that. He has his Sorrow Tree, can Alt R out to get back, and Shayfe here, really, he is so low on resources. He can barely afford another charge dash at this point, and the mortar is shooting him. He is on a timer on that grenade jump, and every time he fails it, he doesn't have double jump to save, and he really needs to check this pickup. We cannot afford to skip any of the last 4 checks in Misty when our Sunstone is in here. Revisit would take years, literally years at this point, and of course you do want to get your check. So yeah, Shayfe really needs to just get this grenade jump before the mortar hits him, and
well, there we go. He's made it to the other side. That's going to be a lot more comfortable. It allows for a save, allows for checking another pickup, but we still have not got it. I think Shayfe's going to have to try and go for this awkward pickup here. He's got to angle that grenade jump nice and perfectly here in this area you can't really see very well because it is that is a wonderful color combination of black on black on black.
Yes, and some dark blue and dark green mixed within it. And every time he fails that grenade jump, he will just fall down with no way of recovering, since he does not have the double jump that Guard got earlier when he needed to dig. So this is super good for Guard. Guard is getting closer and closer to catching up. Honestly, at this point, I would say he is basically caught up with Shayfe because he has already done the Ginza tree. And no, Shayfe, don't fall off there. Alright, does not fall off. It's just the map stone. Oh, Shayfe is probably feeling really bad right now for that, but at least he does have all the keystones in the world to get through here. Can now do an almost casual climb of this. I always forget that charge jump is not actually part of casual Misty. Lemons of a speedrunner. But just 2 more checks left for our Sunstone. This grenade lock pickup, but I kinda wanna see some violence.
Yeah, I'm hoping for this Gumon seal. Shayfe is hoping for this Gumon seal. Apparently, isn't even gonna attempt this. Oh, there we go. He's changed his mind, heading back, just making sure it's safe. But there it is. There's the Sunstone, and now it's a race between Shayfe getting to that Ginso tree and Guard getting all the way down to that grenade lock pickup at the end of Misty. But it's gonna be rough.
It's gonna be really rough for Guard because he cannot afford to take any damage. He might even start zombieing through parts of this. Yes, already opens this. Can technically land on this, and then with some very precise double air dashes. Nope, he is zombieing. Alright, jumps through here. There's 1 second hard section. Will also be checking some things in the hope of finding a health and finding a Sunstone. Cannot really skip this area yet. And Shayfe is heading to the wrong area first. Sadly, there is this ability star right here. This is in Black Road, of course, and he needs to check all of the pickups, but we already know where the water line is. It is down with the frog, so that's gonna take some time. Oh, nice grenade jump from Guard on the right side. Gets the Patera jump, jumps over this area. Now, let's see what he will do here. This is kinda harsh. Well, not if you spend all your energy on it, I guess. Then you can just ramp along the ceiling. Very nice. And kill that. And now he opens up his zombie again because, as you mentioned, everything here did 3 damage. And Half Region does not protect against one-shots. Now gets his triple jump off the zombie though, will be able to clear the spike area. As Shayfe finds his water vein, can now start going towards the Ginza tree. As Guard is on the other hand on the climb tree and into the second half of Misty. And now it means, can Guard do this within like the 2 minutes that Shayfe will need to get to the bash tree?
It is looking very much like it's gonna be one of our favorite kinds of races, but we'll get to that when we get there. We got Guard doing the second half of Misty now. Still, everything will one shot. Every enemy here will, I think, almost one shot, if not also one shot. Maybe the frogs do 2 damage. I don't remember.
The frogs 3 damage, I think. Just the only thing that's fine is the drop slime that he dodged, which would deal 2 at this point. But yeah, through this passage now, Shayfe is also still not skipping everything, but jumping here over the trigger and can now head over. Will grab the Swamp Teleporter, because even with this kind of a fast skill set, it is always faster to grab the Swamp Teleporter for the later revisit. But that, of course, is another 10 seconds use per day. And Guard is gonna be so happy right about now, finding his 4th health cell, which means he can take 1 hit in Misty now. Hooray! If he is on full HP at least. And through the laser area, it is 4 more pickups until Guard finds a Sunstone, and it is half a dungeon for Shayfe until he finds his last tree.
Yeah, we're getting closer and closer on both sides to being able to head straight to the end. Guard being able to get that damage boost off of the slime. It's going to be super difficult to get through that slime without taking damage there, so the extra health that Guard has got from there is not going to matter here, unless he manages to uses the charge jump invulnerability to get through there, and he's going to be able to... doesn't decide to take a save there. I can't see how many ability cells he has left, but it can't be many if he's making decisions like that. It's gonna have to be very careful getting through this. Oh, beautiful movement. There we go. And saves down here. Is that gonna be enough to be able to reach up to that?
He has triple jump, so he can get all the way back, decide this is nothing, alright, we're dropping back down. And now comes the one area where this triple jump will be absolutely massive. You saw how long Shayfe took to check these pickups, and I'm pretty sure Guard will not take as long, since he can reach this without the grenade jump if he so chooses to.
Does it anyway?
The grenade jump over to the other side on the first attempt. Has a bit of trouble getting the wall. Oh my god, Shayfe is already finding his clean water. Does not skip the pickup next to the tree, so that's nice. And gets his bash tree, but Guard is only a single check behind.
It's super close here. We've just got that one check that Guard has left. It's a slow one to go all the way to that grenade lock pickup, but it is absolutely the next one that Guard will check without question. It's the only one that's anywhere nearby. So Guard has just got to head up this shaft, can do so much quicker than Shayfe could with that triple jump availability, and then it's gonna just hit the grenade. Sketchy amount of health, sketchy amount of energy. It's looking dangerous on both sides. Barely dodges the mortar worm, and then is gonna bake it up here, grabs the Sunstone, and now Guard is out and heading over to Horu Fields. Shayfe is also heading through Horu Fields. We've got a race.
Yes, we do, but remember, Shayfe found that mega health in the first half of the Ginza tree, and he has been able to keep all of it. That means he will enter the final escape with 11.5 HP, as well as clean water. He can afford to do a lot of mistakes, but he is still also forced to hit a lot of those G-jumps, and those G-jumps have been giving him trouble. Meanwhile, he did do his door warp on the first attempt without any problem. Shayfe now starting the final escape as Guard is heading over through Horu Fields to get on the way there. Let's see if he decides to do a nice grenade jump through horror fields. Nope, does not wanna risk anything here. Skips over the bailing, but now we're seeing a grenade jump right into the door. Gets charged his efficiency on warmth return. Alright, we have all the energy we could ever need as Shayfe is starting his final escape. The first room not a problem at all since we have dash, and the room does not expect you to have dash since it's from vanilla. Then the lantern room also not a problem with the combination of charge jump and dash. The elemental room will get skipped with a nice damage boost here right now, and into the S we go. The S also not a problem. We have clean water. This area is also easy for Shayfe, but now comes the hard part. Shayfe will need to nail a grenade jump here because he does not have double jump. He cannot jump over this trigger. This needs to land. Nope, it doesn't land. And he falls into the fire, and that is a death as Guard is starting his final escape, and it is a race indeed.
Right, it's Guard's turn here. We've got Shayfe with a minor lead. Guard, of course, having the huge health disadvantage, but Shayfe takes a death. That puts Guard back in the lead. It's on Guard's turn now. Can Guard make it through this? He's gonna go for the grenade jump route. He's gonna see if he can get it first try. Does not get it first try. That's gonna be a problem. Death for Shayfe. It's gonna be a death for Guard as he can't make the grenade jump in time. Both sides are having trouble with this escape. Both sides, despite the resource advantage on Shayfe's side, still proving that this escape, with just by not having bash, really, just makes these escapes so much more difficult.
Yeah, no bash, no glide, and the hard parts about this escape isn't the damage, the environment damage, it is all the instant kill death planes, as we have seen earlier from both of our runners, and Shayfe is back to his version of this. Now, Guard on the right needs to set up for a G-jump through the elemental, nails it. Shayfe nails his G-jump, but is now on this wall. That means Kuro is there, and he doesn't have the time to reach the top. Meanwhile, Guard, don't go for the G-jump, just jump over or nail this. I'm fine with both. Nails the G-jump. As long as he hits that G-jump, that is GG right here. Alright, let's see. Goes through. Is Ori walking? Ori is walking indeed. GG Guard takes the win in this absolutely close race, as Shayfe is still stuck in the final escape.
An incredible performance from Guard. They're managing to catch up despite the resource disadvantage. Only having 4 HP for that escape means that almost everything will kill you, and it's not just the bird that will be able to knock you down, and still manages to make it through. I'm sure he's going to be super happy with that. And Shayfe manages to get that G-jump now. He's just got to be able to get this last little section here. Of course, doesn't quite, and now we'll be able to see that Guard is finished, and just as he's doing so, goes for the calm, relaxed walk to the end instead. GG to both runners there. Incredible performance.
Yeah, and do not pay attention to the timers. We all know what happened, right? And now, I think that should be the 38-26 for Guard, as Shayfe is still needing to hold right, but that is not a problem. Guard with this will take the win, will advance to the best of 3 stage. He so much wished, and we just got words from our track. Indeed, Shayfe finished with 5 keystones in his inventory, so that is always important to notice. Those 5 keystones are very nice and comfy.
What a great race that was, really showing off just how important the combination of G-jumps and dash can be, and how just almost basically just that combination alone is enough to be able to just finish the entire seed. Just given that Sorrow TP that they found, we had both sides being able to find important things slightly earlier. It didn't really come down to one specific pickup, just absolutely blasting one of the runners. It was really just an excellent execution race that we had here.
Yes, indeed. And it looks like we have our official time for Shayfe 2 finishing at the 39:57:08. Just a bit over 1.5 minutes slower than Guard here, but 1.5 minutes does not even that small amount does not even come close to describe to how close this race was here.
Right, we have Guard, the winner of that race, on deck, ready for an interview. If we could pull him in. Let's get started with this. Welcome, Guard. Congratulations on that win. How do you feel?
Thank you. I don't know. I really felt like I lost so much time in Misty that I would lose. See that coming. Like the Misty was so bad. With that skill set and literally like 0 health, I couldn't have done better, I think. But still, I lost so much time that I thought Shayfe is finished.
Yeah, even with those devs, you actually had the faster Misty here since Shayfe did not find double jump earlier in the seed. Got his grenade jumps quite a bit earlier and did not go around checking that. So you actually made quite a bit of time there, and you played that low HP stuff very great. Going into the final escape, seeing that Shayfe didn't finish, how nervous were you getting on having to do this kind of difficult escape?
I didn't know that Shayfe wasn't finished because I keep my race time closed until I finish the seed. So it was very big surprise when I opened it and saw that I'm first. Because I died a bunch of times in the escape. So I was really not sure that Shayfe is not finished by now.
Yeah, I think you did excellently in that race. So you started that race, you got your dash super early. How do you feel when you get that dash and you had that charge jump? Are you starting to what point were you starting to feel like you're feeling comfortable to start heading towards the end? Was it really late on, or were you just trying to scrape together any resources you could find?
I felt very comfy after I found double jump skill-wise, but I really needed like left side access and some resources. Man, I don't know where all the health was in that seat. But as soon as I found throw TP, I just thought I need some HP, like 6 HP to do the swim or ultra defense. And I found clean water next to the bash tree, and that was go mode for me.
Yeah, speaking of HP, we did see you circling your HP a lot after you accidentally dashed into those spikes after the Ginsu mini boss losing your Mega. Were you thinking about keeping that throughout those left side areas or even Horu, or was it just kinda an accidental thing there?
I was thinking about keeping that health, but I realized I wouldn't be able to keep it because of Misty. Because of if Sunstone was in the second part of Misty, which was, I wouldn't be able to keep it anyway without Clyde.
Yeah, so for the general state of the tournament, as after this race, you will be going on to fight our fellow commentator, Zemsis. So how do you feel about that matchup?
I definitely need a lot of practice. I hope the practice will go better than it went before this race. But I'm looking forward to it because it's best of 3, and in best of 3, like anything can happen. And if you lose the first game, you are not out yet. I'm looking forward to that much more than the best of 1.
Yes, indeed. Also looking very forward to that, Guard, fighting you in the best of 3. Finally through the scary best of 1 stage, but the bracket doesn't get any easier, huh?
That's true.
Alright,
Sam, do
Mehdi.
you have any more questions?
No, that's it for me. I think we can close out. So thank you, Mehdi, for commentating with me, and thanks to our wonderful helping crew with Apple on the restream, as well as Infinite and Sarah Barron tracking a lot of things, but especially tracking those keystone counts meticulously throughout the entire seed. Even so far to telling me with how many keystones our runners finished there. And remember, this is actually not the last match for today. In about 2 hours on SpeedGaming 2 right here, we are gonna have Henri versus Evo, commentated by Shayfe and Turtle. And over the next days, Shayfe is gonna play his next match right tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern versus the Duo. And Monday, we are gonna have Styria and Liftoff playing a nice speed for our viewing pleasure. I think Sam's it, and join me has been Maddie, and have a great day.
Have a good time.